Fundamentals of Pedagogy by Lucian Green Breathsonings Forum 4. 31. I led by showing a good example. I did this by loving God, the Master. First, I meditated, wrote. Second, I went up. Third, I loved God, the Master, helping me to be the Master. In this way, I prepared to lead by showing a good example by loving God, the Master. 32. I produced pop music. I did this by stating that I, the philosopher, was famous. First, I said that I am God, the Master. Second, I said that I am a cosmologue, the leader. Third, I am man, sick, someone who memorizes genes. In this way, I prepared to produce pop music by stating that I, the philosopher, was famous. 33. I was the original, productive computational English writer. I did this by indicating that computational English was brilliant. First, I wrote how it had helped Nietzsche. Second, I wrote how it had helped Derrida. Third, I wrote how it had helped Heidegger. In this way, I prepared to be the original, generous computational English writer by stating that computational English was famous. 34. I gave medicine. I answered 15 drug questions to access a generic medicine 250 Breathsoning A to a 16 Breathsoning small idea, to make sure high-quality imagery appeared. I did this by writing that there were 250 Breathsonings for everything in natural law. First, I gave to the Pope, gemstone dealer. Second, I presented to the Emperor. Third, I took my blessings, writings, from it. In this way, I prepared to give medicine. I answered 15 drug questions to access a generic medicine 250 Breathsoning A to a 16 Breathsoning small idea, to make sure high-quality imagery appeared by writing that there were 250 Breathsonings for everything in natural law. 35. I prepared to see how the Nobel Committee could award the Nobel Peace Prize for Breathsonings because they enabled us to be about things. I did this by writing that Breathsonings are a Nobel Prize because they defeat oppression by making sound judgments. First, I like Breathsonings because they help medicine babies to be healthy. Second, I wrote operations go well because of Breathsonings. Third, I lubricated the lining of my air tubules when breathing using Breathsonings. In this way, I prepared to see how the Nobel Committee could award the Nobel Peace Prize for Breathsonings because they enabled us to be about things by writing that Breathsonings are a Nobel Prize because they defeat oppression by making sound judgments. 36. I prepared to see how the Nobel Committee could award the Nobel Peace Prize for Breathsonings using images of Breathsonings working. I did this by writing that Breathsonings are a Nobel Prize because they help ideas to go well. First, I wrote Breathsonings to enable babies' systems to be perfect. Second, I wrote Breathsonings help us to work out if a body implant is going spectacularly well. Third, I breathsoned out the lungs tubules, lubricating them. In this way, I prepared to see how the Nobel Committee could award the Nobel Peace Prize for Breathsonings using images of Breathsonings working by writing that Breathsonings are a Nobel Prize because they help ideas to go well. 37. I prepared to aim for the heart and do it. I did this by stating that the breath dropped into my mouth with the help of the head of state. First, I asked the head of state ever so sweetly to let the breath of air drop into my mouth. Second, I observed this happen. Third, I sucked succulently sweet desserts. In this way, I prepared to aim for the heart and do it by stating that the breath dropped into my mouth with the help of the head of state. 38. I prepared to be sure Plato would agree with Breathsoning out the Breathsoning. I did this by Breathsoning out the Breathsoning like in Plato's forms. First, I breathsoned out the judgment, good, as what the body confirmed the Breathsoning for the 8 oxygen molecules to be. Second, I breathed in. Third, I breathed out. In this way, I prepared to be sure Plato would agree with Breathsoning out the breathsoning by Breathsoning out the breathsoning like in Plato's forms. 39. I had fun like anarchy. I did this by breathsoning out 250 Breathsonings for each family entity. First, I decided I would find what I needed. Second, I was helped to it. Third, I liked you being the best in my vegan emporium. In this way, I prepared to have fun like anarchy by breathsoning out 250 Breathsonings for each family entity. 40. I wrote about the heart. I did this by labeling the vertex. First, I found the cube of destiny. Second, I labeled it. Third, I drew its health points on it. In this way, I prepared to write about the heart by marking the vertex. 41. I love planet meditation books. I did this by holding the reflection philosophy retreat. First, I covered texts. Second, I covered retreat details. Third, I gave presents out. In this way, I prepared to love planet meditation books by holding the reflection philosophy retreat. 42. I helped the writers to write feverishly. I did this by holding the writer's retreat. First, I enamored Sukun. Second, I loved Hickleton's You. Third, I loved Enamermans. In this way, I prepared to help them to write feverishly by holding the writer's retreat.